everybody, it's Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. What is it, number 58? Wow. Yeah, it's a 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous, that's me, versus Token Gal of the Lizardmen. And yes, that's right, the girl that makes the tokens in my little ads also has a Lizardmen army. And after getting a request for Lizardmen, I am so thrilled that she decided to play against me because I needed a battle report with Lizardmen in it. So awesome, awesome, awesome. My list is the same from the previous battle report because this happened on the same day. I didn't change anything or anything like that because I don't do that in the middle of games. After I go home, I cry in a corner for a little bit about what didn't go my way, and then we move on. But yep, I've still got my Chaos Lord, Lord Tremendous, Mark Tzeentch, Demonic Mount, Charm Shield, Hellfire Sword, Talisman of Endurance, and Soul Feeder. I've got a Sorcerer Lord, Ashkus the Muse, Mark Slanesh, level 3 Wizard, Enchanted Shield, Skull of Catan, Lore Shadow. My hero choices are an Exalted Hero, Tardam, the Herald of Tzeentch. He's Mark Tzeentch, he's on a Demonic Mount, he's got a great weapon, he's my BSB. Talisman of Preservation, and Third Eye Tzeentch. My second Exalted Hero is Lady Elizabeth. She's got the Mark Tzeentch, Chaos Steed with Shield, Sword of Change, and the Chalice of Chaos. Last but not least is my Chaos Sorcerer, Fune the Flame Warper. He's Mark Tzeentch, he's a level 1 wizard. He's got a Disc of Tzeentch, Dragon Helm, Talisman of Protection, and the Chaos Familiar, while using the Lore of Tzeentch, because I likes it. My core choices are a unit of 6x Chaos Warhounds with Scaled Skin, 11 Marauders with Mark Slanesh, full command, light armor, and shields, and 24 Chaos Warriors with the Mark Tzeentch, full command, hand weapon, shield, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. And of course I have the obligatory Tzeentch Mark Chariot because I like it. My special choice consists of 5 Chaos Knights, Elizabeth's Honor Guard, with a Banner Musician, Ensorcelled Weapons, and the Blasted Standard. Last but not least is my rare choice, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list consisted of a Slann as her general. It was a level 4 wizard, also her BSB. He had Transcendent Healing, the Dragonbane Gem, the Soul of Stone, and used the Lore of Light. Not really sure what the Soul of Stone does. She also had a Old Blood on foot with the Piranha Blade and the Armor of Fortune. So, Her hero choices were a Scar Veteran on a Carnosaur with a great weapon and the Armor of Destiny. Skink Priest, who was a level 2 wizard with a Talisman of Preservation and used the Lore of Beasts, and a second Skink Priest who was a level 2 wizard with a Dispel Scroll on the Lore of Heavens. Her core choices were a unit of 30 Saurus Warriors with full command spears and shields, a second unit of Saurus Warriors with full command spears and shields. She had a special choice for 20 Temple Guard with full command and the Razor Standard, and her rare choice was an Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods. These are my spells, 3 from Shadow, 2 from Tzeentch, and 1 from the Mutalith. Yay, beast! These were her spells. She did not have her cards. She used like an iPad army list builder, so I took pictures of that. And here's her spells. She had on her Slann, Shem's Burning Gaze, Net of Amniok, Banishment, and Briona's Time Warp. Her level 2 Beast Skink had Wizen's Wild Form and Pan's Impenetrable Pelt. And the other one with the Lore Heavens had Ice Shard Blizzard and Comet of Cassandora. Here's deployment. As you can see, very similar to my deployment against the Ogre character because her list is very compact. 3 units of infantry, a monster, and a monster with a vet. So really, I just lined up against them. I figured my general BSB combo into the Ancient Stegodon should take it down. The dogs were going to move interference if for some reason the warriors presented a better target. My warriors were going to go into the Temple Guard with the Marauders with Ashkus in the back just to fire off Lore of Shadow spells till it was blue in the face. The Beast and the Chariot were going to go and deal with the other unit of Saurus Warriors because I was hoping their Toughness 5 would get them through these combats in a reasonable amount of time. Meanwhile, the Knights and the Disc Tzeentch caster were going to go and deal with the Carnosaur Scarvet combo because I thought I could. Here's top of one after movement. I do not go first. She does, and in true Lizardman fashion, they come forward. There's no hesitation, no shyness, nothing whatsoever. Very cool. She gets banishment off on the warriors, and by getting it off, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, you got it, because I'm thinking that she's not going to be able to do that much damage to him. 4 dead Chaos Warriors later, I'm like, wow, I need to stop making decisions, because all of them that I make are bad. And then she proceeds to get Comet off right there, right where that little die is with the 1 pip showing. Yeah, I tried to dispel it and I failed spectacularly because my dice are just, they're tired, and getting the 6 to come up is just really hard to do. So we go to bottom of 1 and I move up. I decide to ignore the Comet for the most part and just move my guys up. I figure it's coming down. I'm not going to bounce away from it too much. The dogs actually do stay in place because I'm worried about that. The warriors, I'm thinking that they can handle it. The marauders, I'm thinking they can't handle it, so they stay back. Meanwhile, the beast and the chariot move over to go and put some pressure on the Carnosaur. I'm trying to feign thing, hoping that his lizardmen come up because he thinks I'm going after the Carnosaur with that stuff. The knights moved up, and I didn't think this was a good idea, but I was curious to see if the knights could take a Carnosaur on the charge. So I moved them up to see what would happen. I do that sometimes, especially when I'm experimenting with newer units in my list. And while I know tactically that's the stupidest thing you could possibly do, I want to know what my knights have the potential to do against something like that. So I moved them up in the hopes that the Carnosaur would charge them, because I wanted to see what would happen. Also, my BSB and General both charge the Ancient Stegodon and make their charge no problem. So that was awesome too. There's a picture of the BSB and the Lord into the Ancient Stegodon. During magic, I'm able to get Bolt of Change off. It hits the Carnosaur and puts 3 wounds through on him, so that was outstanding. He does make his toughness check and now has a 6-up regen, but you know what? For 3 wounds, I'll take it. Right over, but unfortunately, I irresistible it through, and I roll boxcars once again. For the miscast, and I lose both of his wizard levels. So, not sure if that was entirely worth it, especially considering it's bottom of 1, but it is what it is, you know? Over here, my Chaos Lord hits twice and puts like 3 wounds through on the Ancient Stegodon. Not great, but I guess not terrible. Meanwhile, my BSB hits and wounds 4 times and kills the Ancient Stegodon. So, they kill it. They overrun. The BSB, ends up running into the Skink Priest, which is cool on the overrun. My Chaos Lord turns to face the Ancient Steg, or the Saurus Warriors. And so there's that, but it's not looking good for the Chaos Lord at all. I'm very, very disappointed with him. If it hadn't been for the BSB, not only would he not have killed the Ancient Stegodon, but the Ancient Stegodon probably would have killed him. So very upset with that situation. However, on a positive note, for killing the Ancient Stag, putting the last wound on him, the BSB got +1 toughness, so he's now toughness 6, which is... No, I mean, he's now toughness 5. I'm sorry, that's cheating. But, yeah, he's toughness 5 right now. So, here's top of 2 after movement. And there has been some. His big unit of Saurus Warriors charge into my Chaos Lord. The Temple Guard kind of maneuver to look at the BSB situation. They're a little worried about the... Comet coming down because it hasn't come down yet, and it's just building up momentum. And his Carnosaur does end up charging into my Knights, so I'm kind of excited about that because I want to see what happens. So this is it. This is the final test right here for my Chaos Lord. He's got a bunch of Weapon Skill 3, Toughness 4 Lizardmen that just ran into him. He needs 3s to hit them and 3s to wound them. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do that. Rolling average, I should kill quite a few of them. At least 4 every round. And with the potential of rolling a 6 and exploding them, I'm feeling kind of excited about that. So this is a true test as far as... If he can take out this unit, I've decided that he's going to stay in the list, and I'm going to blame myself. Well, you'll see what happens. And there's a true test for a Lizardess unit. Not that they're in any danger of coming out of the army, I just really wanted to see how well they would handle this. The Skink Priest holds up to Tardum in combat. Yeah, magic doesn't happen at all. I have no shooting, so we go to combat. The BSB attacks the Skink. He puts 3 wounds through on the Skink, but it has a Talisman of Preservation and makes all of the ward saves. So I was shocked, but it is what it is. So yeah, he makes all of his ward saves and stays. I do win for charge and banner, but he's he's cold-blooded. They don't fail leadership checks. So, and with the slan right there, he wasn't going anywhere. But yeah, the skink priest holds up to Tardum, and I hear a disturbance in the force because Tzeentch is not happy. Over here in combat, a Lady Elizabeth quaffs her chalice and rolls a 6 and becomes a demon prince, which is cool because she was probably going to die to the Carnosaur anyway, but it kind of sucks because now she's out of combat. So I got a demon prince, but I lose Lady Elizabeth, and now the knights are kind of high and dry. So, needless to say, I'm able to put a few more wounds through on the Carnosaur, but thanks to the 6-up regen that I gave him with the Bolt of Change, he's able to save just enough wounds to have 1 wound left on the Carnosaur, and with his Scarvet having, I think it was a great weapon, or whatever he had, he was able to kill 2 of the knights, and the Carnosaur was able to kill 3, so basically he gets vaporized, and he overruns. Right here, the Chaos Lord does 3 wounds. And by the Chaos Lord doing 3 wounds, I mean the Mount did 2. 1 with attacks, 1 with stomp, and the idiot Chaos Lord was able to get 1 wound through because he can't roll 3s. I can't roll 3s, but it's really frustrating that this keeps happening. I lose this combat by 1 because he has a musician. No, I think I lose by 2 because he charged, he has 2 ranks and a banner to my 3 wounds. So yeah, I lose by 1. I stay because the BSB is right there, but I'm really disheartened. This is supposed to be my combat character. He's supposed to just be glorious in combat, and so far he is a raging disappointment. Like, really bad. So I'm really starting to think that maybe he needs to go into a fireplace, you know? So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and as you can see, there has been some. My warriors try to charge the Saurus warriors, and they fail, and all they succeed in doing is able to get closer to where the comet's about to hit, which is awful. The dogs make a beeline as fast as they can away from the comet. So does the Marauders. Meanwhile, the Mutilate, the Demon Prince, and the Chariot charged his Saurus warriors, who fled, and my my Tzeentch guy, he charged, I think, as well, the skink, and the skink fled and got away. So everything gets away, and that's where everything on the left side ends up. So there is that. There's the Saurus warriors and the skink priest fleeing from my multiple charges. And during the magic phase, the stupid thing comes down, and it goes exactly 3 inches. So if the warriors had just stayed put, they probably would have been missed. But no, I failed a charge, ran right up next to the stupid thing, and I lose 6 more guys. So 6 more guys is 25% casualties, and as we all know, that causes a panic check, and guess what? The warriors fail the panic check and flee! And they're literally on the board edge. If you can see right there, they're on that little wooden barrier on the table there. You literally have to be off the table on this table in order to be off the table, so being on that wood part is still on the table. So don't think I'm cheating or anything like that, just the way it is. And needless to say, the Marauders are Mark Slanesh, so they're laughing hysterically at the Tzeentch warriors who are fleeing. We go into combat because my magic phase is disgusting and I don't have a shooting phase, so we go into combat and my BSB is able to kill the skink priest. His what's it called? His ward saves fail him this time. The BSB kills him, and I roll in the Eye to God's chart, and I roll Snake Eyes. And I'm like, oh no! Tzeentch is upset that it took 2 rounds of combat to kill a skink priest. I understand, my lord. I'm sorry. But thank God I pass his leadership, and he just becomes stupid for the rest of the game, which is much better than my BSB becoming a spawn. So I like spawns, I just don't like getting them like that. In this combat over here, my idiot lord is only able to kill 1 more Saurus. 1 more Saurus warrior dies. I lose combat by 2 this time. He stays, but can you... I mean, if... I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed with this guy. I'm willing to put him up for adoption. I hate failure like this. He's a Chaos Lord. He's supposed to be a combat veteran. Survived for centuries doing nothing other than killing and maybe occasionally plotting or something, but he's failing so incredibly against Saurus warriors. Granted, not the easiest infantry to take on, but he's clearly outmatches them, and they are destroying him with combat res. 2 ranks, banner to 1 wound. I lose by 2 this time, and I'm just disgusted. I almost wanted him to break, but he stayed. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and his Saurus warriors and his skink priest that fled last turn do rally. His temple guard with his slan turn around to go after the BSB. They don't charge him, but they do get in range. His Carnosaur turns around to look at the Marauders with the Ashkas because he wants to kill them. And that's really about it. His magic is actually stopped and his shooting phase doesn't exist, so we go into combat, and I'm able to kill 2 more Saurus warriors. Yeah, 2 more Saurus warriors die. That's it. And I'm done at this point. I have given up on the Chaos Lord whatsoever. I hate him as much as I hate Marauders, Marauder Horsemen. He's just failed me too many times. This is 3 rounds of combat now, and he hasn't been able to do anything of any significance. Demon Prince would have just pulverized these guys, rolling average. I'm done. Chaos Lords are for other people, not me. So here's bottom of 3 after movement, and as you can see, there has been some. My BSB charges into the Temple Guard, because why not? My Disc character slams into the Zinch, the Skink Priest, because I just want to kill it. And after I make the charge, I realize, oh shoot, I'm in a really bad place, because if I overrun, because if I have to chase after the Skink, I'm going to run into the Saurus Warriors. So that's awful. Also, my BSB goes into the unit of Temple Guard. So, yeah, pretty much what you see is what you get. Over here, the Chaos Warriors. Yeah, the combat scared the hell out of them. I mean, they ran over to see what that funny-looking shadow thing was on the ground. Next thing they know, 8 or 9 of their members get just demolished. They fled, and they're not stopping. They flee. I roll a 10 for their leadership. They run off the table. So, by Chaos Warriors, it's been real. Here's a better picture of the BSB slamming into the Temple Guard, and you know what? Why not? He's going to show the Chaos Lord how it's done, and he's only a hero level character. So, yeah. There's a better picture of Fune into the Skink Priest, and while I was thrilled with the charge at first, like I said, once I realized where I was going to end up having to go once I overrun, I was not looking forward to that. I just got overexcited, I think, when I saw the Skink Priest available. So I charged. Kind of wish I hadn't. In combat, the Chaos Lord flubs once again. That's 4 rounds of combat, 4 flubs. I get it. I get it. I'm not supposed to use the Chaos Lord. I understand. I apologize to whatever Dark Lord, whatever that I've pissed off by taking a Chaos Lord over the Demon Prince, but I can promise you I'm going to fix that. Yeah, the Chaos Lord flubs. Him and his mount aren't able to do any wounds, needing 3s and 3s. I take a wound. I lose by 2 ranks, banner, and a wound to nothing. And I break, and I get away, because if there's nothing else that this idiot can do, he can run. But he is just pure concentrated garbage. And I know a lot of people are saying that it's just the rolls, it's not the Chaos Lord, it's you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that kind of Chaos General. I don't care if your logic makes perfect sense. It's his fault. It is 150% his fault. I'm not taking any of the blame because I'm a Chaos General. I don't need to. I am putting all the blame at his feet. I gave him a badass mount. I gave him a badass conversion. I gave him a badass kit. He's better than almost anything else out there for the point cost. And he has failed me 3 games in a row in multiple combats where he's supposed to just shine. He should get into close combat and just, he should make me weep with joy. And instead I weep with sorrow. He broke from Saurus Warriors. Didn't get caught, thank God. But the dogs have now been hit. There's nothing they could do about it. They actually passed their leadership check. So, yes, my Chaos Lord flees, gets away. The dogs are dead now. This pathetic, useless garbage lord is literally going to get sat right next to the Marauders. I need my combat generals to be good at combat. Win, lose, draw. I need them to be good at combat. This guy is not, and if I never field him again, it'll be too soon. Very disappointed. Right here, Tardum gets into combat with the Temple Guard. He does a bunch of damage to him, but he actually takes a wound. So, bummer. But I think he wins this combat. And of course, they're stubborn, so they stay. It's cold-blooded, stubborn with a reroll. They're not leaving. I just figured I'd get him in the combat because they were going to charge him. Over here, the skink. Actually, I put like a wound on the skink, and I win. He doesn't do anything back. I win this combat, but I have to run him down in order to kill him. So I do. I do catch him, and I end up in the Desaris Warriors, because at this point, I'm like, you know what? I've got to overrun anyway. I might as well charge, because I'm screwed anyway. So let's see how this one pans out. So we go to top of 4 after movement, and there hasn't been much. Everything that Token Gal has in combat, or has, is pretty much in combat, with the exception of the Scar Veteran on the Carnosaur, and he zips over past the Demon Prince of Lady Elizabeth to try to get a hold of the Marauders. And I'll let you know right now, I'm just trying to keep Lady Elizabeth between the Carnosaur and the Marauders, and that's the entire plan there. Magic is a wash, so we go into combat, and Fune takes a wound, isn't able to do anything back because he ends up getting into combat with the old blood that's in the unit. And unfortunately, he takes a wound, he breaks, and he flees. I think he flees like 8 inches, but these Saurus warriors pursue like 11 inches, so they catch him and Fune dies. But you know what? He did pretty good this game. He put a lot of wounds on the Carnosaur. He got a hold of the Skink Priest. I'm actually pretty happy with him. Right here, the BSB once again kills a bunch more Temple Guard. He's not able. He's just rejecting the challenges as I send them out there because I have to. So his unit champion and his whole unit get to attack. I am killing Temple Guard, but it's a slow process, and like I said, they're stubborn with the reroll. They're not going anywhere. So here's bottom of 4 after movement, and I send my chariot into the rear of the Temple Guard. Just because there's a lot of points there, and I need to make up some because, in the last turn, after the dogs got killed in top of 4, they overran after killing the dogs and caught my general. And since it was random movement and stuff like that, if he touches you, you're just dead. So my general died. Like you can see here in the bottom of 4 how where the Saurus warriors are now. Makes me a little sick that he got ran down, but you know what? It was also kind of fitting. At this point, I'm kind of rooting for my Lizardman opponent because that Chaos Lord, he's so bad he gives me cancer. I just don't like him. The Mutalith runs over to harass the Saurus Warriors. I'm hoping maybe if I get enough of his spells through, I can kill off enough of them or lower their stats in the right combination enough that they're no longer a threat, and I'll feel comfortable sending the Mutalith in. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my best bet. The Demon Prince continues to get in the way of the Carnosaur, so he can't charge the Marauders. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Better picture the chariot slamming into the Temple Guard, trying to help out the BSB. The Mutalith, he gets a spell off on the Saurus Warriors, and he ups their ballistic skill by 1, and he lowers their attacks by 1, to a minimum of 1. But still, that was kind of cool. So it's slowly but surely starting to work out. Over here, I'm able to get Enfeebling Foe off on the Temple Guard, and that's huge. Real big fan of Shadow Magic, let me tell you. Enfeebling Foe and the Withering, not to mention their rips, that's huge. I just gotta remember that they're rips. I have a weird tendency of taking them off because I see Hex. But yeah, they're actually rips, and I need to remember that. But yeah, I get Enfeebling Foe off on these guys, and I lower their strength by 3. That's outstanding. However, I got it off Irresistible, and I miscast like 10 or 11, and I'm -1 wizard level as on him again. So I think he's like wizard level 2 or 1 or 2. No, it was the first time. So yeah, he's -1 wizard level at this point. So I lose Enfeebling Foe. That sucks, but you know what? It's winding down, so it was worth it. the Chariot and the BSB are able to put a lot of pain through on the Temple Guard, and now my Chariot is in base to base with the Slan. So that's exciting for me. Again, they're stubborn with cold-blooded and a reroll. They're not going anywhere, but it was still quite exciting. So we go to top of 5 after movement, and as you can see, there has been a little bit. His old blood that was in his unit of Lizardmen that's being harassed by the Mutalith, he runs over to try to get a hold of the Chariot in the rear, not this turn, but next. The Carnosaur continues to try to evade the Demon Prince to get a hold of my Marauders. And his other unit of Lizardmen turned to the one that had the old blood in it, turned to face the Mutalith because they're a little mad at him. While the other unit of Saurus Warriors start trying to get up there and into the combat with the BSB and the Chariot to try to save this land. Magic is a wash, there's no shooting, so we go into combat, and here's a question that came up. I'll tell you what the question is, and I'll tell you how we resolved it and what we thought. But the Slan in the unit of Temple Guard, my BSB has to issue a challenge. Earlier in the combats, like a turn or two ago, I killed the unit champion just to get rid of him so I didn't have to issue the challenges anymore. However, when the Chariot came in and blew away a bunch of the Temple Guard, the Chariot became stuck in base-to-base contact with the Slan. And the BSB is positioned in such a way that there's no way for the Slan to reject the challenge now. So the BSB, per my rules, has to issue the challenge, and he does. The Slan wanted to reject the challenge, but couldn't because there was nowhere in the unit that it could go in order to stay out of there. There's no rules in the Temple Guard saying that the Slan doesn't have to accept challenges or anything like that. We looked it up. We actually had a lot of the guys looking through the rules trying to figure this one out because I have to issue a challenge. And to me, the way I understand the rules for challenges, once you're in the forward fighting rank, and if you can't get out of combat and there's nothing else that can accept it, the Slan in this situation has to accept it. And so in the end, when we couldn't find anything, we just went with the rules the way we understood them because we couldn't figure out an argument why the Slan wouldn't or shouldn't accept the challenge. The only thing we could come up with is the Slan, per the Temple Guard rules, can never go into the front rank. However, in the BRB, in the challenge rules, if you, for some reason, for any reason, it says, can't get in the base-to-base with the challenger, you and your opponent are to just assume that they're in base-to-base. So that doesn't stop him from taking the challenge. So the Slan had to accept it. And the Chariot was able to kill a bunch more of the Temple Guard. My BSB was able to put a few wounds through on the Slan. Once again, they're still stubborn, but it was kind of one of those iffy things. So by all means, if you see a different angle at this, or if you've encountered this and have a way to an argument or a solution with a good reason why, please put it in the comments section. Let us know what it is, or if you agree with how we handled it, let us know, because while we think we did it right, there's always room for improvement. And if somebody sees it a different way or whatnot, or has a ruling somewhere like we couldn't find, by all means, let us know, because we were really curious. So here's bottom of 5 after movement, and as you can see, I'm not playing around. The Mutalith moves over to the side of the Lizardmen because he was able to march. My Demon Prince continues to try to stop the Carnosaur from being able to hit the Marauders. And that's really about it, because everything else is dead or in combat. In Magic, the Beast gets his spell off, gets the number 6 spell off on the warriors that he's been harassing. And like 7 or 8 of them die. She actually rolls really well for her toughness checks. Granted, she needed 5s and 6s, but like 7 or 8 of them die, and I get a spawn. So I just put them over there because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. In combat over here, Tardum is able to kill off the Slan. Awesome. And the Chariot, while he takes a couple of wounds for his trouble this time, he's able to kill a couple more Temple Guard. They are no longer steadfast. They are no longer stubborn. And they end up breaking, and we run them down. Ends up running from the Chariot. We randomly determined which way. Ran from the Chariot. And yeah, we went after him. We caught him. So, which is good, because either I was going to run into the old blood or I was going to get away from the old blood. So I was happy with the way that one worked out. But again, like I said about the challenge, if you guys see a different way, or if that shouldn't have gone that way, please let us know, because we'd love to know how to properly handle that, I guess. So here's top of 6 after movement, and the Carnosaur moves once again so that the Demon Prince can't charge it, which was smart. I was hoping she wasn't going to see that. My his lizardmen are able to march, the ones that just became a spawn, and they GTFO away. Yeah, they could get hit by the Demon Prince, Lady Elizabeth, but they're going to go through the impassable terrain while the Demon Prince would stop at the impassable terrain. Yeah, they'll take dangerous terrain checks, sure, but they'll flee and get away. The Mutalith is the same way. So, yeah, and the Lizardman, the other unit of Lizardmen just kind of hang out in the back, because now it's just points denial. She knows she has this game. It's just a matter of by how much, you know? So yeah, we go to the bottom of 6 because there is no magic anymore for her, and there's no point. So we go to the bottom of 6, and the Demon Prince does charge her. What's it called? The Sawyers that were near the hut, and they flee and they get away. The Mutalith tries to go after the Old Blood and get his spell off, and the off chance I'm able to get enough toughness checks failures through on him that he dies. But of course, that spell didn't do anything. She just stopped it. It wasn't hard. I rolled like 5 or 6 dice. It wasn't irresistible. She rolled every dispel die she had, which was I think 6, and she was able to roll double 6s, so it didn't matter. In his last turn, top of 6, he did charge a chariot, which fled and got away, and stayed on the table. So that was cool. And yeah, that's really where it ended. We were joking around because she started rolling dangerous terrain checks for her Saurus warriors when they ran through the hut, because we just determined that all of them were going to need one. And I just stopped her. She was putting her dice together. I was like, you know what? Don't even bother, because there's 17 warriors left, and unless you fail 17 4 or less toughness checks, I'm not going to get any points for that unit. And so she rolled like 3 dice and she passed one, and that's all that mattered. But as far as we're concerned, 16 out of 17 of those Saurus bastards died, all running into the hut. That's what happened. There's no way to prove otherwise. Granted, I don't get any points for it, but I'd like to believe that only one Saurus warrior survived, and I'm going to stick that because it's my battle report and I can say whatever I want. So, but yeah, that's what the board looks like at the end of the game. She did pick up the Saurus warriors a little bit before I could take the picture, but the ones in the back, top center of the screen there, they're not dead. They're just fleeing. They didn't go off the table or anything like that. But other than that, that's what the board looks like at the end of the game. And yeah, it was a good game. It really was. I enjoyed playing Lizardmen. They were a really cool army. I would play them if I wasn't so in love with Chaos Warriors. So yeah, yep, that's what it looks like. And it was a fun game. Definitely a fun game. A little frustrating with the Chaos Lord, but I'm starting to make my peace with that. The rest of the army performed admirably, to say the least. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You want the banners. You need the banners. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, jump on his Facebook and check out what he's got. Send him an email on on his address there, and get a banner. Get it started. Get it figured out. Hey, I was thinking about getting a banner for XYZ Army. What can you do for me? And he'll hook you up. He really will. He's a very talented individual. He's good with people. He's good with banners, and that's really what you need. You need to get yourself a banner. So send him an email, hit him up on Facebook. Hell, I think he's even got a Pinterest account now. Just get yourself a banner. Totally worth it. Tokens. Get yourself some tokens. I just played the token gal. You saw how well she did against me. It must have been the tokens. So why don't you go ahead, give her an email, and say, hey, I saw you whoop Lord Tremendous on Battle Report number 58. I would like some tokens to help me beat people like that because they annoy me, and I want to beat them. But yes, send her an email. She makes tokens for all games, all reasons, all situations. They're all in the glass beads. They're dirt cheap, but solid gold quality. Totally worth doing it. Send her an email. Get some tokens. You won't regret it. But yeah, after totaling up the points and everything like that, it was another defeat for Lord Tremendous. It was 1480 to 1634, so about 150 points between us, a little bit more. But damn close game. Really good game. The Warriors of Chaos ended up losing that useless, god-awful, hated piece of sugar honey iced tea Chaos Lord a fail. If I never see that damn model on the table again, it'll be too soon. Okay, I'm done. Lady Elizabeth, she ended up dying because she turned into a demon prince. I know that's weird. It's like such a good thing, yet you have to pay for it. But I'll take it. Whatever. She ascended, but she counts as dead. Fune died to the pursuing 11 inches Saurus warriors. That's too bad. My Chaos warriors got ran off the table by the damn comet. The Warhounds sacrificed themselves to try to save the useless Chaos Lord. And my Chaos Knights got eaten by a Carnosaur, and I take full responsibility for that. The Lizardmen and the Blues in the Slan. Both skinks. His unit of Temple Guard and an Ancient Stag. Both of his units of Saurus Warriors were left at the end, as well as his old blood. So, again, it's going to be a heck of a victory party for them, but not that many will be in attendance. So I feel good about that. What have I learned from this game? I have learned that not having a Demon Prince in my army seems to be my kryptonite. I absolutely hate the Chaos Lord. He's useless to me as Marauder Horseman. I know I'm going to get inundated with a bunch of comments saying how much people love their Chaos Lords. Good. I'm thrilled they work for you. At least they work for somebody. But just like with the Marauder Horseman, I'm not running the damn thing anymore. I've tried for 3 games. All 3 games have been a lesson in, or a test of my patience, and I'm not a patient individual. I'm usually pretty easygoing, but when you fail at the one thing you're supposed to be good at consecutively, 3 consecutive games worth of fail from these guys, I'm just out of patience. And the only reason he wasn't thrown into a fire is because I don't have a fireplace, but I'm working on that. So, yeah, to hell with him. He's going to go sit on the shelf next to the Marauders and try to avoid my wrath because I hate him. Definitely going to go back to a Demon Prince. No more Mortal Lords for me. What I've discovered is my Demon Prince kit. Some of you are probably very familiar with it. Others probably aren't. But my Demon Prince kit is obviously a Demon Prince, Mark Zinch. Usually I have him as a level 4. He has the Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, other Trickster Shard, Demon Blade, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin. And usually I would use the Lore of Metal with him. And of course he's got armor and wings. What I have discovered is that if I take that same kit, remove the wizard levels, and remove the wings, I can still take Ashikit. No, I'm sorry. Let me get to the really interesting part. Removing the wizard levels and the wings from my Demon Prince using the same kit otherwise, he is 5 points more expensive than the Chaos Lord. 5 points. For a 1-up, 5-up, unbreakable, healing his own wounds, Demon Blade toting Demon Prince. He's 5 points more expensive than my Chaos Lord kit. So, not only that, but I can still take Ashikis as a level 3 Sorcerer Lord with the Skull of Catan and the Lore of Shadow. Yeah, there's no reason not to do that. So you're going to see a watered down version of my Demon Prince with Ashikis still in the list in his unit of Marauders because I really liked having my Combat Lord and my Magic Lord separate. I like that even though my Chaos Lord did die a horrible Wiener's death, it didn't affect my magic phase, like when my Demon Prince dies and I lose everything. Plus, I get to field my Demon Prince model again, and I've been missing him, I won't lie. I really like that model. It was bugging me that I didn't have him on the table. So that's really the direction I'm going to end up taking this list, and you'll see how I tweak it in Battle Report 59. Really like the way the rest of the list did play, though. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I'm going to change some things a little bit, but definitely a lot of fun with this list. I like the way it flowed, and so you'll see this particular list with some tweaks, obviously, very soon. But yeah, if anybody else doesn't see the irony in this, then I feel sorry for you. But yeah, the token girl beat me up, and it's been recorded. I got beat up by a girl, and so yeah, go buy her tokens because that definitely is probably what did it. But I'm glad I could get in a game against the Lizardmen. It's been a while, and I really enjoy Lizardmen, fighting them and stuff like that. They always give me a great combat. They always give me a great game. So yeah, Lizards are probably my favorite army to fight against. And that's not just because, they're the anti-chaos out there. But great game, great opponent, and I really can't wait for the rematch. I hope I get one in soon. If not this weekend, then sooner. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this battle report, guys. Number 58. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I really did enjoy it. I bitch about my Chaos Lord, sure, but bottom line is I really do enjoy playing Warhammer. I do enjoy the majority of my list, and I do enjoy the whole making a new list and coming up with new ideas and different tweaks. So yeah, this was actually a lot of fun. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll address them as I see them. And yeah, thanks.